Metro Boomin has always been in the talks of being an amazing producer, but he really showed his on this one. This is a true soundtrack, as every song is webbed with spider references and bars. You see what I did there? Along with lines directly lifted from the movie to add an even deeper connection to the film. I really love this, as we all know what Metro can do with a good soundbite. It's a skill, especially in today's age, to make a cohesive body of work, and Metro really did that. And I will argue with anyone who believes this soundtrack didn't increase the value of this movie. I personally listened to it before ever watching the film, and if not for Metro, I wouldn't have ran into the theater the way I did. And this is obviously a collaboration of the writers of this film and their attention to detail in making such an amazing film. And that bled on to Metro, who just found the perfect choice of choosing people to get on the tracks and the perfect way of telling their story musically and sonically. I read up a bit on this in a Variety article by Todd Gilchrist, which is basically an interview of Metro and the writers of Across the Spider-Verse, so check that out. And they talk about how they chose Metro, and they wanted to make all the music in the movie something that Miles Morales himself would listen to. And obviously Metro didn't disappoint, and that's probably why they gave him his own feature in the movie, just to show some respect and love. The features on here are very well chosen, because I feel like that's a big problem with producers making their own albums, especially guys like DJ Khaled and things, because sometimes it seems like they're just throwing the biggest and hottest names they can get into a random generator, which just prints out songs that last for 2 weeks and then you'll never play them again. But it's obvious Metro was careful on this one and chose the right sounds to tell a complete story. We got to see the return of Sway Lee, which I think was a really good move, because no one's forgetting Sunflower anytime soon from the first movie. That was a hit. James Blake was also cool to see such a different artist really connect with Metro, and for them to just come together and to make such a beautiful song in Hummingbird, and also other tracks James Blake was featured on. We saw Offset really find his voice for the first time in a while, but I'm glad he's back here on this album, and he did a good job on the tracks that he did end up on. Don Toliver, man, that guy did his thing. He was carrying for a lot of the tracks he was on, and one of my favorites he did was Linked Up, and that song was so beautiful. But I gotta give my credit and give the crown to Coi Leray for going absolutely crazy on her track Self Love. That Gwen scene with the Self Love on the train was just so perfectly placed, so shout out to the composers. But also, it was just that sound from Coi Leray, and you could tell that's what Metro was trying to bring out of her with that beat. And I think that's what the encapsulation of this whole album was. Metro really just giving people beats to make them stretch themselves in a way kind of new, but also into their strengths. Because I listened to Coi Leray before the internet really got to know her, and she's always been an amazing singer, and I hope she's gonna bring that back after this amazing track, which I'm sure is gonna do crazy numbers. Big shout out to A$AP Rocky, who might be the real life Spider-Man or Miles Morales with all the ones he has, and I know he's really famous for those ones too. And I really enjoyed his verse, as it really took the story back to Brooklyn. I just really like that song, Am I Dreaming? And big shout out to the unsung heroes, the artists that I personally don't know, but I definitely want to check out now, with Rosie, 8th, and a lot of artists I've never heard of before. And I think those are the people you need if you're really trying to make a true sound. You're gonna get some people who are talented in the departments that you need, and that's not always gonna be a big name. Soundtracks are so important, and Metro really killed it. It makes a big difference in how your movie turns out, in how the score and soundtrack is, let's be honest. And I'm gonna be one to say for sure that this soundtrack definitely transformed this movie for the better in so many ways. It got me hyped up for the movie, and I know others were very excited too, because if you can tell from the soundtrack that Metro was truly inspired by seeing the film and seeing bits and pieces as it was made to make these songs. So the two are connected. You can't have a good movie with a bad soundtrack, and you can't have a bad soundtrack with a good movie. That's what I feel. Comment your favorite songs down below, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know 99% of y'all are not subscribed. hit the subscribe button so we keep making more videos for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.